after a wait of more than an hour and about 20 minutes, we sat through a pretty exciting first round, yes?
Yep.
Yes.
You're going to hear now from the debate adjudicators, the best of what I think would be the best of our debaters and the adjudicators coming in. And then our editorial team will talk to you and we'll give you the social share of voice and what you think online. Remember, the Rappler online poll is up. You tweet on Twitter using hashtag PHVote and the name of the candidate you support or the name of candidate you want to call attention to, and the same on Facebook. So let's start with you guys. Nicole,
Right.
you first. What did you make of the first round?
Well, first of all, excellent start for TV5 and Philippine Star. Excellent
started.
question. It started. That's a good thing.
It started.
After it started. But yes, the way the questions were framed were very good. The first question on FOI was, I think, very important. The framing was excellent. It was really able to bring out where people stand on the FOI. For this debate in particular, we were discussing earlier that it's probably a toss-up between Grace Poe and Vice President Binay. I think one of the biggest issues that came out in this debate was the way Senator Poe framed this. Are you going to pick someone who, in her term, was nangulimbat or was a corrupt Filipino who stayed in the Philippines versus a Filipino who left to work overseas to lead a decent life? How do you judge what is a good Filipino in this context? For me, it's a very close debate between Senator Poe and Vice President Binay. I'm open to be persuaded by my fellow adjudicators.
So this is round one.
This is round one.
Nicole Curito is the former captain of the UP Diliman debate team, and she is now a research fellow for the Center for Deliberative Democracy in Canberra. Let us go to the sole gentleman on the panel. Glenn Tuazon is a two-time Asian Best Speaker, Asian Debate Grand Champion. Now he is he's a lawyer.
I am a lawyer.
Go, Glenn. Please, what did you think?
Okay, it's all about airtime. And from that first round, I think the two candidates that got the most airtime were, I agree with Nicole, it's Grace Poe and VP Pinay. I think this entire hullabaloo about the notes at the start really framed this debate from the beginning, because everyone was curious, what were these notes all about? And it turned out that the notes were documents
Right.
constituting waivers by Vice President Binay on his AMLA protections. So I even tweeted something on my account. Do documents constitute notes? Are they
Yeah.
covered by the rules of the debate? That's
Right.
not clear.
Right.
So are you allowed to bring evidence, or are you disallowed from bringing evidence as well? But I think it primed everyone into thinking, what's so important about these notes? So if it's all about airtime, I think Senator Poe and Vice President Binay took a lot of airtime in the first round. And then, although I thought that the debate at times devolved into tangential issues, like you would have a good discussion about FOI, or you'd have a good discussion about energy and power, and then they'd start bringing up tangential issues that are not part of the question,
Such
like
as?
MRT. Or criminal allegations. So it's kind of like maybe to say it in Filipino, parang away bata. So you'd be discussing about a certain issue, and then hindi pangit ka, ay hindi mas pangit
Playground
ka. So
politics.
it's something like that.
But you were saying earlier that you were looking at it in terms of airtime. But it's certainly, as adjudicators, you're not looking in terms of airtime. Who's your best speaker?
I think Senator Poe takes it. She came off sharp. She would bring up certain issues. For example, on the environmental issue, she brought up about what Mr. Rojas was calling mitigation issues. Of course, we were discussing this off air about how these are actually, what do you call this?
Adaptation.
Adaptation.
They were actually, we did a fact
measures.
check right off the top. Go.
We didn't add. Okay. So basically, I thought that she inserted herself well in these particular issues. So she appealed on both the facts and the issues, and also on matters of policy.
Joanne.
Yes. So I was looking at this debate not just from the perspective of airtime per se, but making sure your voice is heard. And I think the voice that I heard the most were Grace Poe's and Vice President Binay's. So on that alone, they were the most that I recalled. And so
Right.
that was very important to me as a first salvo.
Grace Poe.
Grace Poe and Vice President Binay. And I thought that for the first time, Mar Rojas was on the defensive.
Oh, okay. We're going back. Let's go back to the debate, and we'll come back. Poe and Binay.
It's okay.
With Glenn making the call for Poe.
Taxpayers